in years past, but most of their advertising dollars are still promoting the sugary versions. The report from Yale University shows cereal companies are adding more whole grains to the breakfast table. However, cereals like Kellogg's Fruit Loops and Post's Fruity Pebbles are still at the front of marketing campaigns. Government regulation in this area is limited as the large producers have promised to obey self-imposed guidelines on marketing to children under the age of 12. Coconut water is a big craze in the healthy drink circle, and sales are soaring. Last year, distribution doubled, and this year, national sales are expected to reach more than $100 million. Nutritionists say the drink's main health benefit is its high levels of potassium, which benefits heart and blood pressure regulation. However, most people eating a well-balanced diet should already be getting all the potassium they need. Still, if you enjoy the taste and you can afford it, experts say there's no harm. New research out of Denmark shows light drinking during early pregnancy may not be as harmful to the fetus as once thought. According to the BBC, the study shows 1 to 8 drinks per week did not lead to fetal alcohol syndrome, nor harm the child's neuropsychological development. However, heavy drinking is still considered a major health risk. Any change to your diet during this crucial period should be discussed with your doctor. For the first time ever, world leaders are officially recognizing the critical role of travel and tourism for job creation and economic development globally. At this week's G20 meeting in Mexico, leaders say they are committed to promoting worldwide tourism through immigration initiatives. Here in the U.S., that means expanding the visa waiver program to include more countries, which could nearly double the current number of annual international visitors, by some estimates. If you've been choosing non-fat salad dressings to avoid calorie guilt, you may not be doing yourself a favor. Researchers have found salad dressings with fat are actually more healthy because the fat is necessary for better nutrient absorption, specifically carotenoids. These nutrients are shown to decrease health issues such as cancer, heart disease, and vision problems. Non-fat dressings will lower your caloric intake, but will also lower your ability to get the full nutritional value of those fruits and vegetables. The amount of money Americans spend on alcohol hasn't changed much in 3 decades, about $1 out of every $100. However, where we spend it has changed. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports we are spending less money buying alcohol at the store and more in bars and restaurants. According to an article from NPR's Planet Money, this is because the inflation-adjusted price of alcohol has fallen in stores, but the cost for drinks made by your neighborhood bartender has risen. If you're planning on traveling over the upcoming 4th of July weekend, you are not alone. AAA expects more than 42 million Americans that will travel at least 50 miles during the holiday period. These numbers show nearly a 5% increase from last year, tying the highest travel numbers set back in 2007. And since the 4th falls on a Wednesday this year, many will choose to extend their travel plans. It looks like we have a beautiful morning here on the Central Coast. And that's the latest from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk. I'm Nicole Powers. Stick around for the Eat, Drink, Explore live Saturday morning program with your host, Randall White.
Eat, Drink, Explore Media is your lifestyle information source. Our focus, food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism trends, with a slant towards sustainable and healthy options. Whether it's hot deals or tips for hotels and flights, an update on what's currently fresh at your local farmer's market, or the latest restaurant and beverage news, we've got you covered from 8 to 10 each and every Saturday morning. Live on Crush 92.5 in San Luis Obispo County and online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Also, check out our new free smartphone and tablet app. Simply search 3 words, Eat, Drink, Explore, either in Google Play on your Android device or in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. This free app gives you access to contests, past radio segments, our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can watch live video of the radio broadcast while listening to it here on The Crush. Eat, Drink, Explore Media, your source for the lifestyle you love.
What if it wasn't always about getting ahead? What if you didn't care about being on the fast track? What if your career goals were to change? Instead of flying off to the big interview, what if you flew somewhere else altogether? To embark on a different track, to volunteer in ways you never dreamed of, in places you never imagined yourself being. like a tiny island in the Pacific, barely visible on a map, but where needs are easy to see. Or a village on the African continent, where just a little training in HIV awareness can change the fate of thousands. What if you decided to share your skills with others and help someone else get ahead? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 800-424-8580 or visit peacecorps.gov.
Delicious, nutritious, and fabulously fun.
Is this real life?
Best of all, your comments.
That was a real money saver. Thanks, Randall.
So did it work out for you?
Your hotel tip was spot on.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. But don't just sit there. It's an interactive program, honey.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Pick your pleasure. Tweet, chat, post, email, even call us on the telly. Whatever works for you. Our topics today: food, drinks, travel, and a whole lot more fun. So let's pop the cork on this thing and get the party started. Give it up now for our fantastic host, the wonderful and talented Mr. Randall White.
I think that's the champagne talking.
And a good morning, everyone. Great to have you with us here as we discuss current trends in food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism. It is great to be back on the Central Coast after a week and a half in the Midwest. We're in the middle of a heat wave while I was there, and unlike heat waves here in California, it was jam-packed with humidity. So, I mean, you went outside, you were sweating. You get out of the shower, you dry off, you're still wet. It's just, not a lot of fun, but it was fantastic to see a lot of old friends and have a good time. We are broadcasting live from downtown San Luis Obispo here in the Eat, Drink, Explore studio. And we try to keep it fun, of course, healthy, sustainable, so you can get the most out of your precious, and it is very precious, leisure time. Our goal is to make sure you are informed at the end of the day. All right, just ahead on today's program, we're discussing milk, not from cows, not from goats, not from goats, but from sheep. One Central Coast woman has made it her passion and is turning it into some tasty summertime treats. We'll sample those straight ahead. And for our destinations segment, we're headed to Northern California, the coast, as a matter of fact, famous for several reasons. Among them, it was the setting for the 1980s and 90s television show Murder, She Wrote. And then Andrea Sachs with the Washington Post, our very good friend, is our guest again today for our popular travel deals segment. She's got great bargains on airfare, river and small ship cruising, tropical islands, and more. Can't wait to hear from her. And then next hour, we're discussing pollen as a spice, plus tips to eating healthy while you travel. Also a look at some of the lower calorie options when you're ordering at the bar. This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by Eberly Winery in Paso Robles, open daily from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours. Very cool. In fact, they're very cool. Voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast. You need to check it out. Eberly Winery, located on 46 East in Paso Robles. You can get all the information you need easily. Just log on to eberlywinery.com. That's EBERLE winery.com. All right, it is time now, as you can hear from our little gallery of people clapping over here, for our Critics Corner. That's the moment in the show when we turn the conversation over to those experts around the globe. Today is a very close one. It's not that far around the globe. Their specialty, of course, to know about fine wine, craft beer, restaurants, hotels, among other things. And today, it is the other things that we're interested in as we head up to Paso Robles wine country, home to Matt Brown, a well-known name in the online world of blogs, Twitter feeds, and Facebook postings. He's got some great ones. Seriously, you need to follow him online. Matt recently teamed up with TravelPaso.com and issued 2 separate lists of his favorite places to enjoy a glass of wine or a fine meal al fresco in the Paso area. He joins us this morning with the top 3 of those locations, his picks for the best patios or decks in the region. Welcome to the program, Matt.
Thank you, Randall. How's it going?
Fantastic. And, I got to tell you, there's not a day goes by that I don't check my Twitter list and I see a couple of postings from you and I say, yeah, exactly. you really nail it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I enjoy it. It's a good time.
How long have you been making lifestyle your passion?
I'd say going on 5 years. It's pretty much when I met my wife. She forced it upon me.
And your wife's name is?
Annie.
Annie, that's right, because you have the popular website hootenannieblog.com.
Yep, that would be it.
Yeah, a lot of fun, and you guys do videos where you head out to the wineries and learn a little bit about the grapes. So if you're planning a trip to the Paso region, check out that blog. It'll give you some good ideas for sure. But Matt is giving us good ideas right now, because if I can ever design my dream home or my dream restaurant, Matt, it will include a huge outdoor space that is either a deck or a patio, and that is your focus today.
Indeed. So we're going to go over 3 of them, right?
Yes. So
okay.
Let's go from 3 to 1. We'll save the best for last. What's your number 3 pick?
Okay, best for last, that's really hard because they're all really good. But we'll go with, first one, we'll go with Farm Stand 46, which is on Highway 46 West.
Right. I've seen it. If you're headed toward the coast, it's on your right-hand side?
Yep.
Yeah. And now, it's a farm stand. The name of it is Farm Stand, but do you order food there, or you just buy food? What's the deal?
You can order it. They have, everything from sandwiches to salads to everything under the sun. They have wood-fired pizzas, and it's all made when you order it. And
it's all that sort of fresh, local trend that we're seeing, right?
Yeah, exactly what you were just talking about. It's like local, sustainable, organic, as much as they can. It's following the big trend right now. And
then in the Paso area, it's impossible to not go to a place like that and have a great wine selection.
Well, the cool thing there is that they are attached to Cypher Winery. So you can order food, you can go get a glass of wine from Cypher. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 right there.
Okay, so Farm Stand 46, check. Now to number 2, what do we got?
So this one's a little bit different, kind of a newer one to me because we haven't really hung out there before, but Hunter Ranch Golf Course.
Oh, well, I like that because they're a sponsor of the show. So nice choice.
Well, it's really cool because they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're really well known for their brunches on Sundays. But we ended up out there sitting in their little patio area, and it was amazing. The views, the rolling hills, the golf course, beautiful.
It is. Now, were you at Kelly's, or were you right there adjacent to Kelly's in that little indent area with the tree?
Well, we started in Kelly's, and then we ended up out in that little indent courtyard area.
Right. And Kelly's is amazing, isn't it? The food there, we'll be going to brunch in July and checking out the brunch. We had a dinner there on a Friday night recently, and the food, there was a salad that we had that was the best I've had in a long time.
Yeah, it's the brunches are amazing, mainly because they have bottomless mimosas. You can't beat that.
I know Kelly says, "Shh, we don't want the big bottomless mimosa crowd coming," but they do have them there, and it's a good one for sure. Okay, so we have about a minute left. Let's hit number 1.
I've got to go with Via Creek. It's my old standby. It's a Via Creek restaurant in downtown Paso Robles, right across from the park. They have an amazing deck patio looking out at the park. Just pretty breathtaking. I mean, it's simple, but it's always, fun people watching and all that good stuff.
Boy, downtown Paso Robles, right there off the square, can rival Calistoga, St. Helena, any of the great wine cities, as far as I'm concerned. It with the good food and just fun atmosphere, and very just pleasant to spend an afternoon there. Might get a little hot in the summertime, but you can always step indoors for some air conditioning.
Well, the great thing, though, is even if you go to a place like Via Creek, later in the evening, the Paso nights cool off really well, so it's great outdoor weather.
Right. Matt Brown, thank you so much. We want to have you back on the show on a regular basis, so we'll catch back up with you, in several weeks or so, because you just have the greatest suggestions. We really appreciate it. The top patios we'll list, of course, at eatdrinkexplore.com, or you can go to hootenannieblog.com for all the latest information. Matt, thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. You have a good one, Randall.
All right, just after the break, we're keeping it in the Paso area, only this time our guest is in studio with some very unique ice cream. It doesn't come from cows. We'll explain just after the break. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on this Saturday morning. I'm your host, Randall White, and we're back in just a bit. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on this Saturday morning. So great to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying your morning thus far. Perhaps you're kicking back with a cup of coffee or some hot tea with a little splash of milk in it. What kind of milk is that? Is it cow milk? Is it goat milk? Well, sorry, I have a call coming in here. I have to end it. But have you thought of sheep milk? Well, this question came up earlier this week for me, and I said, I haven't heard of it really, and I didn't know that sheep had milk. And so we contacted a local dairy here that is their specialty and are inviting them onto the show now. In fact, Alexis Negranti of Negranti Dairy and Artisan Creamery is here in studio with us. Welcome to the show, Alexis.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I have to know, because I watched a great video that was done by Cal Poly students that highlights your dairy, and you said, I just had the idea one day, and I told my husband and ordered them, and boom, that was the situation. I'm just going to pass. Sorry, I'm going to pass that phone up. I think it's one of our guests coming up, and they're probably calling to tell us they have a different number. So it's probably an important call to take. Hand that off to one of our producers, Ricardo. Okay, so how did you get the idea? Did you see something in a magazine or?
It was pretty much a whirlwind. I took a cheese making class at Cal Poly, and I thought, oh, this would be really fun, to do something that involves, excuse me, both animals and cooking. And then I thought about it, and cows were just a little too big and a little too common. And then I thought, well, what about goats? And I thought, everybody has goats. I need to do something different. And
you can't go into a restaurant nowadays with a goat cheese salad or, sandwich or something. So
yeah, exactly. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do sheep because I raised sheep for meat all through 4-H and FFA as a young child. And so I thought, I can do this.
And you grew up here on the Central Coast.
I did. I'm from San Luis Obispo, and my husband, Wade Negrante's from Cayucas.
Okay, so a good local family. And so you thought, okay, sheep. And did you know at the time that you could milk them?
That was just an experiment. I thought, well, it has to be done, right? And I looked into it, and some of the best cheeses come from sheep milk.
Wow.
So
now, something that is interesting, it came up here in the studio during the commercial break. We have a couple of people that are lactose intolerant, and you said that most people can digest sheep milk.
Yeah, the fatty acid chains in sheep milk are shorter, and so they're much easily digested by people who typically can't digest milk.
Right. Now, how many sheep did you ordered? A lot. You told your husband. Well, your husband said, "All right, we're going to have to think about this," and you said, "Too late. I've already ordered." Several.
Well, yeah, I decided to get sheep in December, and that is the season where they're breeding or they're pregnant. And so, I mean, obviously you start milking once they lamb, they have their baby, and then they provide milk, which is early spring. And so it was hard to find. I would have to find a pregnant ewe.
Oh, right.
And a few of them. So I found a list of sheep breeders in the U.S. and emailed about 50 people. 3 people responded, and out of the 3, I picked one from North Carolina, and we started off with just 3 ewes, and now we have over 20. So.
Wow! So it's grown quite a bit.
Yeah, in the last 10 months.
And you were it's only been 10 months. Okay, and so you were really determined. What were you doing before that you decided I'm not doing that any longer?
I was just at a desk job.
Yeah,
and I loved the people, but I just thought I need to be doing something hands-on
outdoors.
That I'm passionate about.
Yeah, and so you need to milk them twice a day.
Yep, 5:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m.
So you've already done the morning milking.
Yep. I know. They said, "Can you make it at 8?" And I said, "Oh, that's no problem."
Right. I know, because Cora, our producer who booked this segment, I said, "Can you see if she can be in for the 8 o'clock segment?" Cora said, "Oh, she's got to do milkings in the morning." I said, "No, I watched the video." She's. I wasn't sure how long.
Done by then.
I wasn't sure how long it lasted. Now. Right now, currently, you're using the milk to make ice cream.
I am.
Is that the only product line right now?
Yes.
Okay, so right now it's strictly ice cream. And what's the process for that?
Well, we milk the sheep, and then what we do is we basically make a custard with the milk, and then we add raw organic cane sugar to it, and then locally sourced ingredients. And we have a small machine that makes about 1.5 gallons at a time.
Okay.
And so it's a pretty small batch.
Yeah. And you primarily distribute these to specialty stores and restaurants?
Yes. And we start Farmers Market July 5th. Downtown San Luis.
The big Thursday night one.
Yeah. So I'm really excited.
Oh, I think you'll do well at that market. That seems like something where people are a little adventurous and they'll want to try something different.
Yeah. And we're now offering individual 4-ounce servings so that if people would just want something small after, their great barbecue or something like that, it'll be really great for them.
Right. And if I understand it correctly, and you may have expanded since then, your products are available from the Pismo area to Paso Robles.
Yeah, you can look on our website, negrantedairy.com, and under the Find Products tab, and you can find where you can get our ice cream. Okay, now sheep don't just make milk, they make wool also, right? Wool and meat, yep.
And so is this like a multi-layered thing? Like are you also harvesting, would you say it that way? Harvesting them for the wool? I don't know what the terminology is. Is that right?
Harvesting generally means slaughtering.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't want to think about that, but
so no.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, we do sell the wool.
Okay. There we go.
And we also sell the lamb.
And you also sell the lamb as well. And so you have just a regular operation going, and where is it in the Paso area?
We're off of Vineyard Drive on the west side.
And was this the first time you've moved up that direction, or you were already living up there when you decided to do this?
We had moved up there, and within 2 months, I said, well, we have this acreage. I'm going to do something.
Right, exactly.
So.
Now, I know there are a lot of hurdles to starting a small business because I've done that exact thing, but I don't have the health department coming in here, as you can clearly tell, checking to see, if everything is the right temperature, if everything's clean. How difficult is it to get those licenses and be approved as a facility that makes ice cream?
It was challenging, but I just had the attitude of it's easier to work with the inspectors than to fight them.
Yeah.
And so I just said, okay, what do you need? And I just made it compliant, and I feel like that was just the easiest route, is just say, okay, let's be friends and let's work through this.
Yeah.
And then...
Now, currently, you use all natural ingredients. I love the fact that you use the cane sugar instead of some sort of high fructose corn syrup or something like that. And then you've got the natural milk that you make right there. What about organic? I know that's not... it's a long process to get that organic certification. Is that something you're working toward?
Yeah, well, most of our ingredients are organic. For me, it's more important to support local farmers than to go, I could buy local strawberries or I could buy organic strawberries from the valley. So I would rather support a local farmer.
Right.
To me, that's more important.
And I think many of the strawberry farmers are starting to turn that direction anyway, so maybe you'll be able to get some good organic strawberries right here, would be
I hope so.
Would ideally be the case. We have some photos. Ricardo's back from the hallway now and can show some photos of you, first of all, of the sheep and the outdoor area, and then also the ice cream making process and the milking process. These were taken from the video that the Cal Poly students made. You were surprised by this video. That when they come up, they approached you and said, hey, we want to make this video, and then all of a sudden it's getting all these hits online.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, it was just a class project, and I said, yeah, sure, come on out, do whatever you need to do, and they did a short interview, and it's just taken off, so it worked out really well.
Yeah, how do you like that? That's Cal Poly's great. We've got 2 interns working with us throughout the summer, which they're already helping me out immensely. I was gone last week. Patty Pyburn, who does our news, is out for the next couple of weeks. Poor thing is in France. I feel terrible for her.
Well, maybe she'll get some sheep cheese.
Exactly. And we have less than a minute left. Anthony, is there a chance? I just want to taste. You can just grab any of them there. I want to taste it really quick because I've been so curious for the past week or so about what this tastes like. And Alexis, you have a spoon there, I believe. Okay, so this is the strawberry basil. What made you think to put basil and strawberry together?
I don't know.
Because it's great in drinks. I love it that way. They make a good sparkling water like that at one of the local restaurants.
Yeah.
That is delicious. And it doesn't seem to have as much of the taste that goat milk can have sometimes.
Yeah, it's a very common misconception. People are always saying, oh, what do you do? And I say, I milk sheep. And they say, oh, well, I don't like goat milk. And I said, well, that's good because it doesn't taste like goat milk.
I got sheep. Alexis Negrante, you'll find her link at eatdrinkexplore.com. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, we're back in just a moment. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio show. I had my times wrong. Sorry about that. I was thinking that we went on air at 8:34, but it's 8:33, so I was a minute off. Oops. And I was just, believe it or not, we booked guests up until the very last minute. We will be speaking in the 9:30 half hour with the lead researcher in a study on how the large cereal companies, while they're making healthier foods for your kids right now, that's not what they're marketing. They're marketing the sugary ones. And we'll be speaking with her about their findings at 9:30. But right now, it is our Destinations segment. This is one of my favorite times when we get to take a trip around the United States to, we focus on, it might be a little village, it might be a city, a trail, a park, a mountain range, just a place that we believe deserves a little more attention. And so today we are headed to a small seaside village. It's just south of California's rugged Lost Coast, and it is truly one of the most romantic places you will find, and it couldn't be situated in a more scenic setting. Seriously. In fact, You know how sometimes you drive for miles and there's really not much to see, but then you come across a cute little town, and that's what makes it so cute, because it's the one place to go. This is a cute little town that's surrounded by just stunning beauty. You drive for miles and you're still in like a beautiful area. We are headed to Mendocino, California, home to great restaurants, wineries, and towering redwoods. And I had the pleasure last summer to spend a night at the town's Sea Rock Inn. And the proprietor of that establishment, Susie Ploker, joins us on the line now to talk a little bit about the town, what there is to do in the region, and there's plenty. And we also need to focus a bit on her well-kept and very inviting property. Welcome to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, Susie.
Hello, Randall. How are you?
It's so nice to speak with you again. I wish I had had more time to spend at your inn, but as you know, I was on a quick trek around California trying to capture as much video as I could, and the accommodations were just top-notch. I really enjoyed my stay there.
Oh, well, great. You'll have to come back.
So I know you have, and I will, for sure. Now, the town itself is just one of those settings where you say, who planned this out? It's almost like Disney put it together.
Right. It's on a peninsula,
yeah.
So it's almost surrounded by three sides.
It jets,
of the ocean.
Yeah, jets out into the Pacific there along a stretch where it's so rugged and gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And so your town hosts a number of festivals during this time of year when you have favorable weather, which, as I understand, it's nice and sunny today.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And
yes.
you had rain yesterday?
Yes, we did. Very unusual.
Well, that's why you're so green up there, and you have all those towering redwoods.
Yes.
And so I think I read online that is there an art festival today?
There is a garden festival, actually. Oh, not actually a festival, but a garden tour that's going on. And then just right around the corner, of course, we have our parade, the 4th of July parade.
Oh, you have a 4th of July parade there in Mendocino. That must be quaint.
It is. It is. The town swells from our normal couple thousand people to probably about 5,000 or 6,000, all on Main Street. It's quite a happening.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And one of the nice things there about Mendocino is you're very remote. I mean, yes. you have to drive quite a ways through on windy roads, and I imagine you must have some guests that say, "We thought we were lost for a while." But
no, yes, on the windy roads, but they enjoy those towering redwoods along the way, and then it breaks through to the ocean.
Yeah, it does. And then if you head a little bit north, you've got Fort Bragg and some amazing wineries up in that direction. You have amazing wineries right around you as well.
Yes.
In fact, I believe in the room you had a bottle of Han Estates?
It's Hush
wine. Hush.
Yes,
I'm sorry, Hush,
from
yes.
one of the oldest wineries in Anderson Valley. We feature their wine. But we're surrounded by a lot of wineries, and, of course, some of the nicest state parks in this area, too, which we overlook the Headland State Park.
Yeah, Headland State Park is right there at the end of the peninsula you were talking about, and it's loaded with trails.
Yes, it is. And then just a little bit further north, there's one called Russian Gulch State Park, which there's a nice waterfall you can walk to, especially after our rain we had yesterday.
Right, it'll be recharged and ready to go. What about like other outdoor activities there in the Mendocino area? Is there plenty of kayaking and?
There is ocean kayaking where the companies will suit you up with a helmet, a wetsuit. Some of them are guided, and then if you're more on the leisure side, which I like, I just go down to Big River or up at Noyo River, and you can take a kayak or an outrigger kayak inland and just kind of meander and see all the sea life and the otters or seals up that way, birds. Right. So that's really nice too. If you're not the rugged outdoor and go cave touring,
right. Susie, that's how I like to do it as well. I am a big fan of the more like river or lake kayaking. I'm afraid those waves will just knock me over. And I haven't learned how to do that Eskimo roll or whatever it's called. I can't. I'm not at that level, but I do enjoy being in the kayak, and you get that quiet, peaceful. If you can, find your little nook in the river that's all yours. It really just takes you away. Now, when I was there at your property, I was talking to you a bit about its history, and your daughter found an interesting fact about that property where you are.
Yes, it used to be a brewery years ago.
That fits right into the theme of our show.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So how did she find that out?
Well, researching through the local Kelly House Museum, and there were a bunch of deeds, and so we pulled out the deeds and copied it. And mind you, she was only in grammar school then, so it was very brief, but got the details out, and we did find out that it was a brewery. Of course, it was a logging town back then, so everybody needs something to come home to, a brew to come home to. So.
Right. Are there any microbrews made now in the general vicinity?
There is up in Fort Bragg.
Oh, that's right.
There is a microbrewery up that way, and then inland towards Boonville, there's also a microbrewery there.
Yeah, is that one Anderson Valley Brewing Company?
Anderson Valley, yes.
Yeah, they make some fantastic beer, and they've been around a long time. In fact, I think the one in Fort Bragg has been too.
Yes, that's a good one too. And they do a selection of what's their Red Tail Ale. They do a lot of good microbrewing up there.
Oh yeah, just delicious stuff. And then the Mendocino area is huge when it comes to whale watching. In fact, you and your neighboring towns there get together and have a whole whale week of festivals, right?
Yes, the first week in March there's a whale festival, and of course all the wineries come to the inns, and then we host them, and then people go from end to end and taste all the wines and look for whales. And the more wine you have, the more whales you see.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
No, it's an all day event, and it's one of the first ones of the year, so it's very well attended. And the weather's usually beautiful then. Right.
Now, you do have your rainy season, which I imagine has its own sort of romantic feel to it, and that runs with the rest of California's rainy season, roughly like November through early March?
Yes, about that time exactly. And then we get the people who want to come up for the heavy waves and rain and the storms. Yeah. We're always apologizing for the weather, but they say, no, that's what we're coming up for.
We want to grab some driftwood, right?
Exactly.
For their yard. Is that legal? Can you do that?
I don't know. I don't think so. But they can pick up glass at Glass Beach or something like that. But driftwood.
Is there a beach there that has, like the rocks look like glass, or it's actual glass?
It's called Glass Beach, and it's just a little bit north of us, and it's all polished glass, and as far as I know, you can still take as much as you want. It's very interesting.
You know, on a really beautiful day like it sounds like you're going to have today, Susie, when you walk down to the coast there, you feel, especially if you're from Central or Southern California, where we have such an arid climate, you feel like you're in somewhat of a rainforest or tropical area because the vegetation, you can smell it. It's so lush. There's wildflowers. It's just stunning. And you think, this is also California?
Right. Yeah, we have some a microclimate in different areas. And there's also a beautiful botanical gardens just a little bit north of us as well. And it's really spectacular.
You probably never get too cold there either, being right on the coast.
No, we don't. It really doesn't freeze here at all. So our lows could be in the low 40s, and of course we're a great destination for people who are coming from the inland area because it doesn't get much higher than in the mid-60s here.
Right. If someone were going to fly into Mendocino, what is the closest airport? Santa Rosa?
Santa Rosa is the closest airport, but a major airport would be either Sacramento or San Francisco. But the closest one is Santa Rosa, like you said. We have got a little light airport here, if you have your own private plane and want to come in, at Little River.
Oh, right. What's the drive time-wise from San Francisco?
3.5 hours.
3.5? That's not too bad. That's just like driving down here to San Luis Obispo. So Mendocino, Susie Plocher, owner of the Sea Rock Inn in Mendocino. I highly, highly recommend it. It is a fantastic location and very well kept, and your breakfast was delicious.
Oh, well, thank you, Randall. I appreciate that.
Thank you for being on the show, Susie. We'll be in touch sometime soon. Susie Plocher, again, owner of the Sea Rock Inn in Mendocino. We'll put a link at eatdrinkexplore.com. Stick around, everyone. Andrea Sachs joins us from Washington, D.C. She's with the Washington Post and has our travel deals segment. That's coming up next. Boy, she's got a lot of good stuff, including river cruising, small ship cruising, and also some air deals. How about a nice tropical island? We'll talk about all those things right after the break. This is Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore.
You waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
And a good day, everyone. I'm your host, Randall White, and just as our announcer, Monica, said, it is time to hear insight from the best of the best, the gurus of bargains, the luminaries of budget travel. And this week, we hear once again from the Washington Post's Andrea Sachs and her picks for the weekly What's the Deal column, which appears currently online and then in tomorrow morning's Washington Post Sunday paper, I believe. Welcome to the program, Andrea.
Thank you. Nice to be here. You make me blush with that intro.
Oh. Hey, well, I'm so glad that you could do this morning. Now, last month, we pre-recorded the segment because you were going on one of those mega ships, the big giant cruises, the what is it, the Oasis of the Seas?
Yeah, I think I'm still on it because I couldn't find the exit door. I could still be on it. I'm not sure.
It was that large.
It was that big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It's beautifully done. It's really tasteful. I love the Central Park area where you feel like you're in Central Park. You don't know where the ocean is. But
because it's in the middle of the ship, right?
It is. It is somewhere in the middle of the ocean. It's really nice. It's a different experience.
And it's broken up into neighborhoods?
It definitely is broken up into neighborhoods.
That is the largest ship I've been on is Princess Sapphire, and I think that's like half the size of the one.
We would eat your ship for breakfast. I mean, seriously, that's like a little dinghy.
Are you writing a piece on it, or have you already done that?
No, in the midst of it, it's running next weekend. I followed a cruise director around who was like a hummingbird. I mean, he had so much energy, and truly all my knowledge about cruise directing came from Love Boat, and Julie McCoy was a fraud, I realized.
Right.
Total fake.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to your list here. And to top off this week's list, you have a nearly half-off deal at a top resort in Aruba.
Yes, we do. It's the EDE Dutch Village in Aruba, and they have 40% off, which is phenomenal. And the rates start at $119, which is so good for the Caribbean.
Right.
Normally $209. And that's just not for a room. That's for a one-bedroom suite.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it comes with a kitchen and a balcony and air conditioning, always important.
Air conditioning is key, and I just came from the humid Midwest, so
I know.
I know what it's like. How's the weather in D.C. today, by the way? Hot?
The past couple of days have been really, really brutal.
Right.
But now it's 80s, which is cool.
Am I the only one that can't hear the word Aruba and not have that Beach Boys song start playing in my head? Aruba.
Now it's stuck in my head.
I won't ruin it for everyone else. But all right, so New York City and Company, or NYC and Co., the city's official promotion arm, has a hotel deal to visit the Big Apple.
This one is really good because, as you know, rates are overwhelming in New York no matter what. And this one is giving 16, it's the signature collection, so it's the really luxury, high-end resorts or properties.
I noticed that from the pictures that we're sharing online, if people are watching us via our video stream, I looked at the pictures, I thought, I've never stayed in a room like that.
No, I know. It's overwhelming, and the fact that it's kind of now in many people's budget range is phenomenal. And so the third night is free. So if you do the math, which I'm not going to do the math because I will scare you with my math capabilities or incapabilities, but for example, the example that we used was the Peninsula. Starting rates are $595 a night. So you're saving $600 on the night. So if you do 3 divided by $595,
right.
That's a good deal.
That is a good deal. Now, do the first couple of nights have to be like the high-end nights, like Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday night is your good deal, or does it matter when you stay?
No, each one, because there's 16 properties, and obviously they're going to have their own restrictions. So some want midweek, but they're not taking advantage of you. So they're not going to make you stay on the most expensive nights and then give you the cheap night for free. They really sprinkle it throughout the week.
And then that comes bundled, right, with something called a Madison Avenue Pass or something along those lines?
Oh, yeah, they're letting you live the high life. So it includes something called the Key to Madison Avenue card, which has all these little special deals on spa treatments and boutiques and restaurants. So you can continue this facade of being able to afford this lifestyle with your card. And then something called the VIP shopping experience at Saks.
Oh.
And they will pick you up at the hotel, drop you off at Saks. You get a personal shopper's experience, and then they'll ship all your goods home for free.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They won't pay for your goods, but they'll ship them home.
Okay, Nicole, our news person this morning, all of a sudden she's interested. She's like, huh, what?
I know.
All right. Now, something that I've been wanting to do for a long time now is a river cruise. Viking is an amazing line. We actually have some video from the Viking River Cruise people that they sent me last night that we could show during this. They've got some deep discounts going on.
And this is important because so many people see the cruise rate and then they forget that they have to fly to that destination.
Yeah.
And so with Viking, they are discounting really, really sharply the airfare to the departure port. So, for example, the one that we selected was a 15-day European tour, and the airfare from Washington to Amsterdam with a return from Budapest is $399 per person, which you can't even fly to the Midwest for that.
No, you can't.
No, and normally it's about $1,900.
And on top of it, it's a triangle flight, which is usually more expensive to begin with.
Exactly, right, because it's complicated, so they're going to charge you more for that.
Right.
So that's really good. So the starting rate for that cruise is $4,362. So total, it's like $5,000, if not less.
Are these river cruises all-inclusive?
For the most part, yeah. So, I mean, sometimes short excursions, or if you go outside the mainstream, it'll be a little extra. But for the most part, the drinks and the eats and the entertainment on board are all-inclusive. So you can spend that amount and then not spend anything else.
It's true luxury, and you go deep into Europe as opposed to just hitting the coastal regions. So that's fantastic. Then Crystal Cruises is another along the high-end line of cruises. These aren't river cruises. They're ocean-going, but they have some deals for Southern Europe.
They do, and Crystal is renowned for the food. I haven't been on there yet because I'm still trying to get off Oasis of the Seas. But they're supposed to have really good food, from what I've heard. And they just started 12 new itineraries, and so they're offering discounted, really inexpensive fares to these destinations that hit Athens and Barcelona and Rome, Casablanca, Istanbul, Canary Islands. So some of the lowest rate is $1,300.
That's a good deal.
For a 5-night from Cannes to Rome.
On Crystal.
On Crystal.
That is pretty amazing. From Cannes to where?
To Rome.
To Rome. Mm-hmm. That's nice, right there along the Mediterranean. And the you mentioned Istanbul. That seems to be the go-to port for cruises nowadays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's the go-to for everything, it seems.
Yeah. And so then we were talking airfare a little bit earlier. AirTran is the first airline that I did some video Skyping from a plane.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, it was the first time I had internet access on a plane was with AirTran, and it was offered free then. I doubt it now. But AirTran's got some good flights right now from your neck of the woods to the Bahamas and Puerto Rico.
They do, and it's a system-wide sale, so look from all the different destinations, because on your coast they could be having sales, and they're going through that, with Southwest and trying to merge their itineraries. And AirTran already started off budget. But from our neighborhood, neck of the woods, the fare from Baltimore to Nassau is $285.
$285. That's round trip.
That is round trip.
Yeah.
And I can't get to the Midwest for that.
Again, right?
Right. And if it's San Juan, it's $204, which is even better.
And then finally, we have to wrap it up with a package deal to Croatia. That's another place. Ever since I saw Matt Lauer do a piece on, is it Dubrovnik? Is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. He did a piece on his Where in the World thing. I was like, okay, I got to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Croatia sounds beautiful, and it's rare to see it on sale because it's such a high-demand place, and they don't have to lower themselves to sales. But they are having a sale in October, which will be great because all the crowds are back to work and grumbling at their desks. So the trip is, you save $300. It's through Trip Masters, and it leaves October 17th, and it's $1,500 per person, and it includes air and in-country flights and 6 nights lodging in Dubrovnik, where Matt Lauer might be.
Right.
And Zagreb, and breakfast, and fees and taxes.
Wow. Fees and taxes on top of it.
Yes.
All of these great deals, as they always are, from Andrea Sachs, travel writer for the Washington Post. We love having you on the show. I know that you're dog sitting right now, so we'll let you get to Fido and take care of the walking and all that you need to do before it gets too hot outside.
Okay, well, thank you. The dogs say thank you, and have a great weekend.
You too, Andrea. All right, this hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio brought to you by Kelly's at the Grill at Hunter Ranch. Delicious. A dine under the oaks, surrounded by the beautiful rolling green hills. That is truly written. Located just 3 miles from the 101 on 46 East in Paso Robles. I highly recommend it and check it out for yourself. All right, next hour, we've got all sorts of great guests coming up. You're listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, and we're back in just a moment. It's the top of the hour and time once again for the latest from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk.
Good morning, Eat, Drink, Explorers. I'm Nicole Powers, and here's a look at what's making news. Although meat without antibiotics will cost you more, a leading consumer group says people are willing to cough up that extra cash. In a nationwide survey, 86% of people said they'd like to see more antibiotic-free meat in the grocery store, and 60% said they'd be willing to spend the money. Antibiotics first came into play for farmers in the 1950s when they found animals would grow bigger and faster on the drugs, saving the farmer money. The practice, however, is a contributor to antibiotic-resistant infections found in humans. There's currently no steps being taken by the U.S. government to change how livestock is being handled, but a push by consumers could lead more farmers to drop the use of antibiotics. American hotel chains are doing what they can to attract visitors from China as the middle class continues to expand there. Hot tea served in their rooms, traditional Chinese food at breakfast, Mandarin-speaking staff, and Chinese welcome programs are among the ways U.S. hotels like the Marriott and Hilton are now catering to this growing demographic. According to information from the Associated Press, the average Chinese visitor spends more than $6,000 per trip. If you feel like you're hitting a roadblock in your creativity, a change of scenery may be what you need, in the form of a coffee shop. According to a study conducted by the University of Illinois, a moderate level of ambient noise increases creativity levels. The study found that the noise level present in coffee shops is the most ideal for finding some creative inspiration. Some soft music, light conversation, coffee pouring. So, instead of working away in your cubicle, you may want to consider walking down to your local coffee shop. Public health researchers have found their biggest enemy, the soda industry. They say soda advertisements mimic the tobacco industry by the way of the soft drink social responsibility campaigns. The American Beverage Association responded to this report saying that the comparison was false. They pointed out that the tobacco industry had paid scientists to disprove health risks. The public health researchers and scientists report, however, that the soda industry is using their PR to protect Americans from the dangers of their sugary drinks and its link with America's fight with obesity. Butter, yogurt, milk, cheese. For many, this is a list commonly found in a modern-day diet. A recent discovery has shown that this was also true for the people of the African Sahara over 7,000 years ago. The Archaeology Science Department of the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom has found that cattle were especially important to the people of this ancient society. And it may have been dairy farming that allowed these farmers, who were also the first of their kind, to settle down in what is now modern-day Turkey. Coconut water is a big craze in the healthy drink circle, and sales are soaring. Last year, distribution doubled, and this year, national sales are expected to reach more than $100 million. Nutritionists say the drink's main health benefit is its high level of potassium, which benefits heart and blood pressure regulation. However, most people eating a well-balanced diet should already be getting all the potassium they need. Still, if you enjoy the taste and you can afford it, experts say there's no harm. It looks like we're having a beautiful morning outside here on the Central Coast. We've got partly foggy skies and expecting some cooler temperatures today. And that's the latest from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk. I'm Nicole Powers. Please stick around for Eat, Drink, Explore live Saturday morning program with your host, Randall White.
Eat, Drink, Explore Media is your lifestyle information source. Our focus, food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism trends, with a slant towards sustainable and healthy options. Whether it's hot deals or tips for hotels and flights, an update on what's currently fresh at your local farmer's market, or the latest restaurant and beverage news, we've got you covered from 8 to 10 each and every Saturday morning. Live on Crush 92.5 in San Luis Obispo County and online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Also, check out our new free smartphone and tablet app. Simply search 3 words, Eat, Drink, Explore, either in Google Play on your Android device or in the App Store on your iPhone or iPad. This free app gives you access to contests, past radio segments, our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and you can watch live video of the radio broadcast while listening to it here on The Crush. Eat, Drink, Explore Media, your source for the lifestyle you love.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Take a moment and see if you can guess what I'm doing. I'm getting healthy by walking. Walking daily has tons of health benefits, managing weight, lowering cholesterol and blood pressure, and improving your overall mood. So, whether it's around your neighborhood or over your lunch break, just take a walk. For your free booklet, visit wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575 and find us on Facebook and Twitter. The Will Rogers Institute, since 1936.
Delicious, nutritious, and fabulously fun.
Is this real life?
Best of all, your comments.
That was real money saver. Thanks, Randall.
So did it work out for you?
Your hotel tip was spot on.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. But don't just sit there. It's an interactive program, honey.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Pick your pleasure. Tweet, chat, post, email, even call us on the telly. Whatever works for you. Our topics today: food, drinks, travel, and a whole lot more fun. So let's pop the cork on this thing and get the party started. Give it up now for our fantastic host, the wonderful and talented Mr. Randall White.
I think that's the champagne talking.
Good morning, everyone. Glad you could join us here for the show today. It is hour number 2. I'm your host, Randall White, and we are coming to you live from historic downtown San Luis Obispo. The sun went behind some clouds behind me here, and so if you're watching us via our video stream, you can see a beautiful Higuera Street, or Higuera. No, Higuera Street, just behind me here. I guess it would be Higuera, because you don't pronounce the H. But at any rate, we are bringing you as much current information as possible so you can enjoy your life in a healthy, fun, and sustainable manner. Now, just straight ahead here, we are learning the tips for how to travel and not stray too far from your diet. Our guest really knows what she's talking about. We'll speak with Sodium Girl, that's the name she goes by, in just a bit. And then, how are your kids eating? Well, cereal companies are pushing sugary products, according to a new study, and we will speak with the head researcher there. Plus, using pollen spice is a way to make your meals taste better. It's nutritious as well. We'll introduce you to a woman who knows her way around some local farmers markets here in California and discuss the health benefits of herbs and pollen. We will also run down a list of the most and least fattening drinks you can order at a bar if you're trying to count your calories. I hope we have time to get to that list. If not, we'll do it next week because we fit in an extra guest here on the show that we felt was important, breaking news. So Eat, Drink, Explore Radio brought to you this hour by Kelly's at the Grill at Hunter Ranch Golf Course, the best kept restaurant secret here on the Central Coast and up in Paso wine country for sure. Kelly's at the Grill at Hunter Ranch open 7 days a week for breakfast. So any day, just head on up there. Happy hour daily from 3 to 6. Dinner is on the weekends, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It is located on Highway 46 East past Airport Road, right there in Paso Robles. Okay, it is time. I would like to pull in the woman who anchored our news this morning, one of our fantastic summer interns, the talented Nicole Powers. You have a great name. Did your parents expect you to go into broadcasting when they were choosing?
I don't think they did, but it worked out pretty well, didn't it?
It really did. Now, you grew up in the Bay Area, right? East Bay?
I did, yeah, East Bay.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. In fact, the Danville area, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the gems up there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice being in that area, being so close to the Bay Area, but also being a little removed in the suburbs. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, and it's not too far. I guess you could hop on BART in like Concord or something, right?
Oh, yeah, Walnut Creek or
Walnut
Dublin.
Creek.
Yeah, those are the two closest ones.
And now, Patty Pyburn typically does our news on the weekend, but she's out of town. And Patty's one of your instructors at Cal Poly.
Patty is, yeah, she is my professor.
And she set up the internship for us, you and Curtis Cole.
And Curtis Cole, yeah.
Who did the news last weekend. You'll be with us for 10 weeks.
We will. You're stuck with us.
Prepare. No, just kidding. Actually, you you guys are already doing a fantastic job.
Thank
and
you.
I look forward to working with you. So we'll have some fun segments that they put together in the weeks to come. And what a treat to have such a top-notch journalism school right here in our backyard so that we can then reap the benefits. Now, this is typically, Nicole, the area in the show where we go down a top 10. And so I pull Patty in for that. So we'll just have a little discussion here about the top 10 essential apps for summer travel. So if you have a smartphone or a tablet device, as you do, right? I know. These are apps that you want to have on your phone before you hit the road. I didn't read this list until I got back from my trip, but and then I'm like, why isn't the Eat Drink Explorer app on there? And then I realized we released it too late, so this USA Today wasn't able to fit us into the list. But listen to some of these. One is called Pocket, and so if you. And I just was on a flight where I didn't want to pay for the Wi-Fi, plus I couldn't figure it out on the flight. It's nice that they have Wi-Fi on flights now, but I kept thinking to myself, if I could have just saved a couple of the pages I was looking at in the airport, I could be reading them now, you know? Well, that's what Pocket does for you. It downloads the page when you're in an area where you have Wi-Fi, and then you can access those pages later when you are not so lucky. So that one's called Pocket. I like that one. Yeah. And then I've been wondering about this for a while when I travel, and I think if there was just an app that could tell me where the cheapest gas station is. Now,
yes,
right?
We need that in San Luis Obispo.
I know. And so typically I go to Costco, and, you know, I'm not plugging Costco. I think most people know that they're the cheapest gas, and I know a lot of RV people that plot their course across the United States based on where the Costco stations are. But not all of us are Costco members, and there's not always a Costco in the town you might be hitting. And so this app called YP, it's the letters Y and P, local search and gas prices. So it's available on all the devices, and it'll just zero in on it for you, which is pretty cool. Okay, iPatrol. Now, this one tells you if there have been pickpocket schemes or people trying to take advantage of you. Right. And so, like, let's say you're visiting the Union Square area of San Francisco or one of the high traffic areas where, you know, Fisherman's Wharf, and there's a lot of cities around the United States that have those types of areas. This one, the iPatrol travel advice will let you know, based on police reports and such, what schemes are going on. You know, are people bumping into you, or are they telling you that their granddaughter is ill or whatever? Anyway, it keeps you up to date so that you don't get taken advantage of when you're on vacation. And then finally, let's see, I think we have time for eye sunburn. And I do, eye sunburn. But that's what it's called, eye sunburn. And it, based on your GPS on your phone or your tablet device, it will tell you what the UV index is. Wow. And what level you need, you know, 15 block, 30 block, for whatever, wherever you may be located. You don't seem like you sunburn probably too badly.
Yeah, I don't really.
You're lucky that way.
If I'm out in the sun long enough, so it's still useful.
And when you're out in the sun, you might be swimming at a local beach. There is an app called Swim Guide that will let you know. You know, sometimes, and it happens here on the Central Coast as well, the beaches will have a health advisory. I know a certain side of the Pismo Pier will have that from time to time. They've gotten it pretty well under control, though, which is nice. But Swim Guide rates the beaches for you and lets you know not only are they publicly accessible, but the health conditions surrounding that beach and those sorts of things. So that one's called Swim Guide. Again, all of these listed on USA Today, and we'll post a link to that after the show at eatdrinkexplore.com under the program summary. And I actually had more time than I thought. I'll have one more for you here. It's called Triposo. And this one is really cool. So let's say you end up in New York City and you had all these outdoor things planned and it's pouring down rain. Triposo will put a schedule together for you based on the weather conditions, based on the time of day, like if the museums aren't open or if it's a holiday and then they know the museums aren't open or whatever it might be. And it'll say, well, this is a really cool coffee place you could go to that's not far and a lot of historic things happened here or whatever. So it does it all based on the actual what's happening that day, weather-wise, day of the week, time of day, all that kind of stuff. I know.
Personal TripAdvisor.
I know. There's several more on there, Nicole, and we will, again, post the link so you can go to the USA Today page and check it out for yourself. Nicole, nice speaking with you. Thanks for doing the news today. Super helpful. All right, stick around, everyone, because up next, we are going to find out how when you're traveling, you can really stray from your diet. This woman says, no, it doesn't have to be that hard, and she's got a lot of great tips for you. We're speaking with Sodium Girl straight ahead on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White. Back in a moment. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. Welcome back to the program, everyone, on this Saturday morning. Hope yours is off to a great start. While the sun is really beginning to shine here in San Luis Obispo, gorgeous outside. And I think the heat has broken for the most part in the Midwest, where they had just a horrendous start to their, well, really end to their spring. Now we are right in the beginning of summer, and hope yours is off to a great start. I'm your host, Randall White, as we talk food, wine, craft beer, travel, and tourism. And if you caught the show last week, then you know I've been gone. I took Amtrak's California Zephyr all the way from Emeryville, which is, right next to Oakland in the Bay Area, took it all the way across to Chicago and spent some time there, and then attended a very good friend's retirement party up in Madison, Wisconsin. My diet was completely thrown out the window. I think I gained like 5 pounds. Some of that I've lost in the meantime. But the menu on Amtrak, while it has been upgraded to include brown rice and some gluten-free options, really needs to be updated for 2012. And let's hope that that's in the in the future for Amtrak. Then while in Chicago, very progressive city when it comes to their menus and such. However, we strayed from that and went for the deep dish pizza. And then I have one of my favorite burrito places. It's called Burrito Palace on Halsted Street. I had to go there and have one of those. Then Madison was no better. We had deep fried cheese curds. If you've ever had a cheese curd, it's it's exactly, curds and whey and Little Miss Muffet, that whole thing. You take the curd, you roll it in some flour and you deep fry it, and you can find that all over Wisconsin. You don't see it here, so it's one of those things like when in Rome, and so boy was I in Rome. I just kept having it, and of course all that washed down with great local craft brews. You don't see a lot of great wine menus out there, so I stuck with the beer. All very delicious, but all very fattening, and in most cases unhealthy. But I'm lucky because I don't have any special dietary needs, not at this case, and at this point in my life anyway. I do try to cut back on the salt nonetheless. But here to help people who do have special dietary needs and those of us who just simply go so wrong on vacation like myself is Jessica Goldman Fong. She's up in San Francisco. I found an article of hers this week in the Huffington Post. It was great. I read all the way through it and wish I had read it prior to leaving. Although I still don't know, Jessica, if I would have changed many things. You'll love her website, too. It's sodiumgirl.com. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. And now, what brought this level of attention for you on specialty diets?
Well, for me, my hand was really forced in it, so I have a little bit of an easier time having to stick to my diet as I truly need to. My kidneys failed almost 9 years ago, and I was on dialysis and the transplant list, so I took on this diet to see what I could do as a very stubborn and spontaneous 21-year-old to maintain the kind of lifestyle I wanted.
And so what you did is you put together a diet that works for you, tastes great, I would imagine. And but then you've probably found over the years that when you travel, that's not so easy.
Right. Traveling was kind of the most scary part of it all, I could do whatever I wanted in my own home. And I found that I could even eat out pretty easily when I went to restaurants. I was learning the tricks. But traveling, whether it was a simple road trip or going abroad, that was pretty scary at first.
Right. Well, some of the people that work on the show here do have special dietary needs as well. And so they're all ears listening. And you say when you're packing, don't just put your clothes and sunblock in there. Pack some of your favorite foods.
Yeah, if I only packed clothes, I'd be the lightest traveler ever. But these days, food takes up the majority of my suitcase.
Really? Seriously. And do you have any problems when you go on like an airplane because I guess you can check the baggage, huh?
Here's the thing. I actually never check my bag. So I have learned to pack the things that lay flat, that are non-perishable, and, of course, don't have liquid in it, and I never have any problems. But, of course, if you do check bags, you can also pack an ice pack, pack some perishable items, and then just make sure you have a refrigerator on the other end of your travel destination.
And then if it's too difficult, you can always send the items ahead of time?
Yes, this is... Thank goodness for my mom's creativity. One of the first trips we took as a family, she actually called ahead to the hotel and thought to send a huge box of my favorite pantry items with anything I needed, such as a can opener, and asked for a microwave and a refrigerator. And I basically had a kitchen when I got to my hotel.
Right. In fact, you say forget the view, go for the kitchen if it's between two different rooms that are the same price, right?
Yep. Yeah. And these days, Airbnb and VRBO, there's a lot of different options beyond the standard hotel.
VRBO is great.
That has changed traveling for me because most of these places either have small kitchenettes or an actual kitchen, and even hotels like the Fairmont or smaller suite travel hotels.
Marriott Residence Inn. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Marriott Residence Inn is a good one.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So when you look for the more corporate hotels too, where people are staying for a long time, you will have access to actual implements that make making your food, if you need to, possible.
And VRBO stands for what? Vacation Rentals by Owner?
Exactly.
Right. Just for people that have not heard of that website, it's fantastic because you actually stay in a home or a condo or apartment, whatever it might be.
Or an in-law cottage or something like that.
Right. So another one of your tips is to go raw. That sounds great
now,
for
this
vacation.
Might take a little more convincing for some people, but I have found that if you pack, a little plastic bag of raw kale or, pre-cut and pre-washed vegetables, they don't really need refrigeration until maybe the second day, so you can really travel with it.
Oh, right.
And it's an easy thing to stick on top of a rice bowl if you can find one at the airport, or on an omelet, or anything else that you bring with you, like some tortillas, to really spice it up, but also keep some vegetables in your diet. I know that's the one thing I always miss when I travel is the greens.
That is so true, Jessica. In fact, I was just at the Minneapolis airport. A lot of the airports, like San Francisco, just has some amazing food options.
Terminal
for sure.
2.
Yeah, Terminal 2. Is that the United Terminal?
No, that's the new Virgin Terminal, and it has a whole farmer's market in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that. I know LAX has well, they were planning to put a farmer's market in. I don't know if it's in yet or not, but that's great. I did not run into those options in Minneapolis, and I tried to go some routes where I thought it would be better. I got an Asian stir fry. It ended up being really heavy on. It was so sweet I almost couldn't eat it, and I'm sure the sodium content was through the roof. And so I was trying, but sometimes you just get thwarted, which is too bad. So
I totally understand, and that's the thing is if you bring the accoutrement with you, you can really make what you want out of the simple things you can find that are safer, like just steamed rice instead of the whole stir fry.
I travel with a bottle of Cholula because they never have my favorite hot sauce.
Exactly. There's no shame in that.
There's not. Okay, you say to use friends, both real and virtual. What do you mean?
Well, this is the beauty of social media these days is, if you have friends where you travel, that's always the best way to travel for anyone, special diet or not. They can really help you find the right restaurants, or if it is in abroad and there's a foreign language, they can help you translate. But even if you don't have friends where you're going, use Twitter, use Facebook. There are bound to be people that live in the city or countries that you're going to that might have the same needs that you do. So they can really point out to you the allergy-friendly, gluten-friendly, low-sodium-friendly places to not only go out and eat, but pick up food.
And people love to give advice, especially on Twitter. You throw something out there. Hey, I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon, and I want some Cuban food. Where should I go?
Exactly. And it's instantaneous, and it also is a way for you to connect directly to the restaurant as well quickly.
Yeah, I love it. And then we just have enough time here for about 30 seconds. You say to spruce up safe foods.
You got it. This is what we were talking about before. If you only have the option at the airport for that Chinese restaurant and they have steamed rice, you pack Cholula, I pack Mrs. Dash spices with me wherever I go.
Mrs. Dash.
Yep. So no salt seasoning, and that will make anything, no matter how simple it is, from a boiled egg to steamed rice, a little bit more exciting.
I love it. You can find her on the Huffington Post from time to time. She also has her own website. It is sodiumgirl.com. Jessica Goldman-Fong up in San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining us this morning with all those travel dietary tips.
Thank you, Randall. Healthy traveling, everyone.
All righty. We'll have to have her back on the show again. She was fantastic. Okay, up next, speaking of eating right, cereal companies are pushing the sugary cereals. They're making more of the healthy ones, according to a new study, but those aren't the ones they're trying to get your kids to buy. We'll explain. We'll speak to the lead researcher in a new study that just came out yesterday or the day before. And we have her on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio coming up next. Hope your Saturday's off to a great start. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
And a very, very good Saturday morning to you. That's right. You're listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, heard live at this time every single Saturday morning here on the Central Coast on Crush 92.5 FM. And, of course, you can catch us online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Or, if you haven't yet, download our app. It is available for iPhones and Android devices. A good friend of mine called from Seattle last weekend and said, my wife and I were just sitting here in our hotel room and we were just watching on our iPhone, and it was so cool. I said, well, that's great. I'm happy that people are using it, and we seem to be getting some good response. So thank you all very much. Okay, this was a last-minute guest for us. We saw this piece come down on the wires yesterday about a new study out by the Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity in conjunction with the Department of Psychology at Yale University. And what they did is they took a look at cereal companies and what types of cereal they're making over the past several years, and then what types of cereal they're spending most of their commercial dollars on to push. And as it turns out, they are making healthier cereals now with more whole grains and that sort of thing. But when it comes to advertising, I'm just guessing here, probably during Saturday morning cartoons, they're not pushing the whole grain cereals as much as they are the Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes. Well, the person who knows the most about it is the lead researcher for this study, Jennifer Harris. She's the director of marketing initiatives there at the Rudd Center, and she joins us live on the line from North Carolina. And a very good morning to you, Jennifer.
Well, good morning. It's actually afternoon here.
Oh, right.
Nice to talk to you.
Jennifer, I hope I got most of that right when I summarized the study.
Yeah, basically what we did is a follow-up to a similar study that we did 3 years ago where we looked at all of the main cereal companies in the U.S. and analyzed the nutrition of all the cereals they offered, and then looked at the marketing of cereals and who they were targeting their marketing to. So lots of cereals are marketed to adults, but unfortunately the least healthy products in companies' portfolios are the ones that are marketed heavily to kids on TV, on the internet.
I didn't even think about that, right.
Yeah, advergames. I don't know if you've heard that term.
No.
But, all the cereal companies have these very fun, interactive sites for kids that are basically advertising for the cereals. You play games with cereal pieces, and it's all about how much fun these products are.
I had not even thought about that, but it's brilliant from a marketing standpoint. And really, isn't that what Saturday morning cartoons have become as well?
Yeah, and cereals are the product that's advertised most often on Saturday morning cartoons and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, all the children's programs. And unfortunately, those cereals are, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Reese's Puffs, Fruit Loops, Cookie Crunch, all of the products that really aren't very good for kids.
No, I hadn't, until I read the article, I hadn't heard of that Reese's, what's it called, Reese's Puff?
Reese's Puffs was, I think, the fourth most advertised product to children.
So it is a cereal based on a candy.
Yes.
Okay, it happens to be one of my more favorite candies, but I get it. I don't think there is somebody alive. I'm in my mid-40s. I don't think there's anyone alive my age that can't sing some of the cereal songs that they grew up with. Like A is for apple, J is for Jack, Cinnamon Toasty, Apple Jacks. There's so many different cereal songs out there stuck in our head because it's become part of our culture, and it sounds like that's only increased. Do you have any statistics that show the percentage of advertising dollars, how much the advertising for cereal has grown over the years?
Well, the advertising we looked at 2009 or 2008 to 2011, the total advertising hasn't grown that much, but the advertising of those children's cereals has increased more than, by 34%, more than cereals marketed to adults. So in fact, advertising to adults for adult cereals has gone down while the children's cereals has gone up, and it's about $260 million that they're spending on really just a few brands. It's about 12 brands.
And Jennifer, why do you think that is? Is it that as an adult you already have it in your head what you will be buying for your breakfast cereal, and you might want to already be healthy, so you don't need advertising to sort of send you in that direction?
Well, absolutely. And companies know that by the time someone gets to their late teens even, their brand preferences are fully established, and it's very difficult to change what you like after that point. So the earlier they can get to kids, the more the more powerful the marketing is going to be. And the other thing is that parents wouldn't buy these kids cereals, these high sugar cereals, if their kids weren't asking for them. So that's another reason that they market to the kids.
It's true. I can recall in a store in Novato, California, it was called Roger Wilco, out of business now, but you would sit there in the aisle begging my mother for whatever it might have been. I think at the time it was Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. And I wanted the prize inside. And she's like, are you really going to eat the cereal? You know, is this what you want, or is it that you want this prize that's inside the box? Do they still do the prize inside the boxes, or how does
Absolutely. And now it's getting, even more interactive. There's a new cereal out called Crave that has I don't know if you've heard of QR codes or quick response codes where you show your cell phone, where you point your cell phone at it, and it will link you to their Facebook page, and it's very sophisticated now.
Wow. And the kids know how to use it, so the parents might not even know that code's right there on the box.
Yeah, someone had to show me how to use it.
Well, that is the way it is. All right, now, as I understand it, the cereal companies have very little regulation when it comes to how they market the cereals and what types of cereals they're making, because the big ones have agreed to self-police.
Right.
Right? And how's that working?
Well, it's not working, which the evidence is that they're marketing the same cereals, their worst products, to kids today as they did 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, they've reduced the sugar by 1 or 2 grams. They've reduced the sodium. So the products are a little bit healthier than they were 3 years, but they're still not healthy products. They still have one spoon of sugar in every 3 spoons of cereal. So it's really not something you should be serving your children every day.
Well, we are speaking with Jennifer Harris right now. She's the Director of Marketing Initiatives for the Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity. The Rudd Center, along with the Department of Psychology at Yale University, teamed up to do this study. It sounds like it's a follow-up study to how cereal companies are marketing their cereals and what types of cereal they're making. Now, Jennifer, we have been sort of lumping all the big companies together. Now, perhaps some are worse offenders than other. What do we have out there right now? Who are the big ones? It's General Mills, Kellogg, and Post?
Yeah, well, General Mills is about 70% of all advertising to kids.
Really?
Yeah, for cereals. And Kellogg is following them, and then Post has just one brand that it advertised to kids, which is Pebbles cereal.
Okay.
So General Mills is the biggest.
So General Mills is really the big one. And what are some of the products under that label?
General Mills is Lucky Charms, Reese's Puffs, Honey Nut Cheerios, Trix,
for kids.
Cookie Crunch.
Right. And Lucky Charms are magically delicious.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, we have these things stuck in our heads from the time we're very, very young.
Right. Right.
And so after a study like this, what have you been hearing? When did the study come out?
Well, the study just came out yesterday, so we haven't heard a lot yet. But, the first time we came out with the study, I think people were really surprised at how, because you think of cereal companies, you think, well, General Mills has Cheerios, Kellogg has Frosted Mini Wheats. Those are pretty healthy products. Mm-hmm. And we agree, but the problem is those products aren't marketed to kids. So, we're hoping, and that is still the case today as it was 3 years ago. So, we're hoping that parents will see this and, say we've given them a chance. They really haven't changed much. It's time for, us to just stop buying these products.
Well, when parents push back, it really works. We've seen it this year. We saw it with the whole pink slime thing that happened, and then when parents decide something is wrong and they get on their bandwagon, the cereal companies will take notice. It's too bad they don't market Cheerios more. Even as a child, I loved Cheerios, and it's a really tasty whole grain cereal that I think if they pushed it, kids would like it.
Yeah, and you put some bananas on it or strawberries on it.
Right.
It tastes great.
Yeah. So, well, great study, and I hope you keep up the good work there. Jennifer Harris, Director of Marketing Initiatives there for the Rudd Center for Food Policy and Obesity in conjunction with the Department of Psychology at Yale University. We really appreciate you coming on the show at such late notice. You said the study was just released yesterday, and we got the call this morning, and we rearranged a couple things, and I'm so glad we did. You were full of fantastic information.
Great. Well, I just want to add one thing, is that we have a website for parents if they want to go in and see how healthy the different cereals are. It's cerealfacts.org.
Oh, that's easy. cerealfacts.org.
Yes.
All right. We will link that to our website, Jennifer, so that people can have an easy connection to it. Jennifer Harris, make it a great Saturday.
Thank you very much.
All right, stick around, everyone. When we come back, we're talking pollen as a spice, not as an allergen, but as a spice. And boy, it's good. I had it on a fresh salmon salad last night. Absolutely delicious. We'll have that when we return in just a moment. This is Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Thank you for being a regular listener to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Simply send a note to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back on the air shortly. Curious about information you've heard on today's show? Just head to eatdrinkexplore.com and head to the weekly program summary section under the radio tab. We always list the websites and any other important facts associated with each of our guests we have on the program. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break and will be back shortly. Did you know our weekly Saturday morning radio show also has a video simulcast on Ustream? You can watch it live or view pre-recorded versions while on the go by simply downloading our free Eat, Drink, Explore app for your smartphone or tablet device. To find it, just head to Google Play or the Apple App Store and search Eat, Drink, Explore. Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio show on this Saturday morning. It's the first Saturday for summer 2012. So this is your summer weekend. Get out there and enjoy it. And that's our goal here, is to help you enjoy things, whether it's what you'll be eating, what you'll be drinking, or where you'll be heading out and exploring. I'm your host, Randall White, and it is time to talk pollen. And you're thinking, isn't that something you talk about in the spring? No, this isn't a segment on allergies. We're talking about pollen to spice up your meals. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You can put pollen on your food, and boy, it makes it delicious. About a year and a half ago, I was shopping at the Morro Bay Farmers Market, and we ran across a woman selling herbs and tea. And there was a brand that I picked up. It's called Breathe Tea. And it's really good. It's spearmint, lavender, and lemon balm. And so as I was buying it, this woman slipped me a can of her fennel pollen spice. And I was like, fennel pollen? She goes, try it. Put it on some things. I guarantee you're going to love it. And I have. When I remember I have it, that's the thing. I forget that it's we have a couple of different cabinets where we keep our spices, and just last night, I remembered, and I put it on a salmon salad that we were having, and boy, it just gives it that fennel kick that, you know, fennel's not always in season, and, sometimes you just don't have the time to, like, chop it up or grill it or whatever you might be doing with your fennel. But the fennel pollen, this is a year and a half old, and it smells like I just bought it yesterday. It is fantastic. Well, joining us right now to talk a little bit about her company, which is the Golden Gourmet Pollen, is Jasmine, and the last name is Janisevich. Did I get that correct?
It's Janisevich, but close.
Janisevich. Okay, Janisevich. I need to put an accent on another part of the word there. Jasmine, great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. It was really a pleasure meeting you that day in Morro Bay. And as I understand it now, you're not so much at the farmers markets like you used to be. Now you're just sort of there at the place where everything's done?
Yeah, we're primarily just online anymore. We run our business out of our office. It's all online and phone orders and such.
Yeah, and you're there in the Central Valley?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So you just found that you were just getting a lot more hits online, and so shifted everything that direction.
Yes, it's definitely a lot less wear and tear.
Yeah. I bet, yeah. And so, well, that's good, because the people listening now don't have to be anywhere near you. They can just hop onto your website, which we'll put a link at eatdrinkexplore.com, so people can order this if they'd like. Now, how did you get into the business of selling pollen? Like, I hadn't heard of it before, and I haven't seen it since. How did you say, oh, yeah, fennel pollen, I'm going to start selling that?
Actually, in about 2007, my mother came across the product and just fell in love with all the potential it held. And she decided she wanted to make something out of it, so she started harvesting out in Los Osos, actually.
Oh.
And came across a gentleman named Larry Kandarian.
Uh-huh.
And he's CCOF certified, and, she started speaking with him about potentially getting our product cleaner, and they went into a partnership.
Uh-huh.
And it's all just kind of taken off from there.
Yeah, congrats on becoming certified organic. I know that's not easy.
No, definitely not easy at all. And it is really, really great to be certified organic. We are the only ones in the nation, I believe, that are actually certified organic in the fennel and dill pollens.
Now, you grow wild fennel as opposed to Florence fennel. What's the difference?
Well, the Florence fennel, it's the plant itself actually bulbs, and It's more of the original plant that came straight from Florence.
Is that what we see growing on the sides of the road here in California?
No, that's actually going to be the wild.
That's the wild, okay.
Yeah, that was imported hundreds of years ago and adapted to our area. Eventually it lost its bulb and quite a bit of the plant. So we've been using the pollen.
Mm-hmm. Is the bulb fennel what we buy at the farmer's market, like to shave into salads and that sort of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right. So then how do you describe the flavor of this fennel pollen?
The fennel pollen, it's going to have the same, very similar flavors and aromas as the bulb. We just use it because it's so much simpler.
It's simpler, it's condensed, it's easy to just sprinkle on, and it has that, for people that are not familiar with fennel, what would be the closest saying, licorice?
Yeah, it does have a little bit of a black licorice flavor, or a star anise. A lot of people are reminded of those.
What are some of the best things to put it on? How do you use the fennel pollen?
Actually, I use it on everything, absolutely everything.
Right.
Our Herbs de Provence blend, I've used that in scrambled eggs.
Oh,
I've put it in soups and stews.
Everything savory or sweet too?
Right now, we're primarily savory. We haven't really gotten into any of the sweeter flavors yet.
What about health benefits? Now, it is a pollen, so could people have allergic reactions?
We haven't had any known allergic reactions, but
it might actually, by digesting it like this, if you do have a fennel allergy, it might actually help with that, right?
It could potentially. We've primarily been more of the culinary than the medicinal, but it does have quite a few different medicinal purposes. It's a natural diuretic. It helps aid in liver function. Lots of really great benefits to it.
It's a natural diuretic. That's good to know.
It also helps with lactation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh. Now, how does it keep its aroma and flavor so long? If you heard the opening to this segment, I was mentioning that I bought this from you a year and a half ago, and you open the can now, and it's like, wow. I mean, it is still really powerful, and the flavor, the smell, you know how like nuts all of a sudden will really get that rancid smell, and the smell stayed the same.
Yes, I don't understand that at all, but it is pretty amazing. All of our product has been holding up really, really well. We keep it vacuum sealed, and then after it's tinned, really there is no expiration date on any of our products.
Right.
So
well, you also make teas and other products, as you mentioned. We bought your Breathe tea there at the market. That's how I even came across you. And it's fantastic too. Do you have different teas based on what people's needs are? Anything like, important that people write you on a regular basis and say, I'm having trouble sleeping or whatever, that you know of teas that work great for that?
We do. We've got our Soothe tea. It's a chamomile, hibiscus, spearmint, lemon balm, and fennel pollen.
Oh.
That one is really, really good in the evenings. It helps you relax. It also...
And it's called Soothe?
Yes, Soothe.
And you put the fennel pollen in that too, because I don't have the fennel pollen in this Breathe tea. I had a cup of this last night and the night before bed, and I was thinking that the lavender in it would help me sleep.
Yes. It does have some calming effects, the lavender as well.
Yeah, well, it's all really great stuff, and people can find out whatever they would like at fennelpollenspice.com. I really appreciate you being on the show, Jasmine, and best of luck with your online venture now.
Oh, it's not a problem. Well, thank you so much. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook as well.
Oh, on Facebook. We can put that link in our program summary, as well as your regular website. And a huge congratulations on the Certified Organic.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, Jasmine, and I really don't want to mess this down. Oh, I'm off that page now. Jasmine Janisevich joining us with the Fennel Pollen Spice Company. All right, everyone, that does it for this week's show. We do want to let you know that this hour of the show is brought to you by Eberly Winery, where you'll always find complimentary wine tasting located. It's so easy to find right there on Highway 46 in Paso Robles. You just head east from Highway 101 a few miles, and it's right there on your left-hand side. Great cave tours, best on the Central Coast. You can log on to eberlywinery.com. That's EBERLE winery.com. Thanks to everyone here in the studio for helping us today, and we'll catch you back here next week. I'm your host, Randall White. Eat, drink, explore.